At 7:03 a.m. on a cold Tuesday morning in Phoenix, Arizona, a U.S. Army sergeant named Daniel Hayes walked into a crowded convenience store. All he wanted was a protein bar before his shift. His uniform was neat, his boots polished, his face calm and disciplined, betraying no sign of the long night he'd just worked. But the morning's quiet was shattered by a man named Tyler Briggs. Tyler was a 28-year-old delivery driver, frustrated with his life, and he was filming for social media. When he saw Daniel in uniform, he saw a target. Turning to his phone camera, he announced loudly, "Look at this guy. Thinks he's Captain America just because he wears a uniform." A few people laughed nervously. Most just looked away. Daniel simply gave a polite nod and continued toward the fridge. But Tyler wasn't finished. He stepped forward, blocking the aisle, a smirk on his face. "What's wrong, soldier boy? You can't fight unless someone gives you orders." The store fell silent. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Daniel didn't flinch. He didn't get angry. He didn't defend himself. He just looked Tyler in the eye and said, in a calm, steady voice, "Have a good day, sir." Then he walked out. Tyler, still recording, followed him, yelling one last insult. "Yeah, walk away. Hide behind that uniform." But destiny was watching, because 10 minutes later, Tyler would be praying for that very uniform to save his life. Daniel was driving toward the base when he saw Tyler's delivery van swerving erratically on the highway shoulder. At first, he thought Tyler was just driving recklessly, but then he saw the smoke pouring from the engine. The van was drifting uncontrollably toward a concrete barrier. Daniel's military instincts kicked in. He sped up, getting closer, and his heart dropped. The situation was far worse than he imagined. Tyler's 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was strapped in the back seat, pounding on the window in terror as flames began to flicker under the hood. Tyler was wrestling with the steering wheel, screaming his daughter's name. The brakes had completely failed. The van was picking up speed, heading downhill, straight for a busy intersection, where a fully loaded school bus was approaching. Daniel saw the catastrophic crash that was about to happen. In that split second, he made a decision. He floored his accelerator, maneuvering his own truck inches from the out-of-control van, risking his own life. He yelled through his open window, "Tyler, turn the wheel left now." Tyler, crying and shaking, obeyed on instinct. Daniel then swung his truck in front of the van, scraping his bumper against its corner. The metal-on-metal friction created a shower of sparks, but it was just enough to slow the van slightly. It was the only chance he'd get. While both vehicles were still moving, Daniel leaped from his truck. He sprinted alongside the smoking van, dodging debris, and did something he'd only ever practiced in training. He grabbed the door handle, smashed the window with his elbow, and swung himself inside. He yanked the emergency brake with every ounce of strength he had. The van screeched sideways, tires smoking. Just then, flames burst from under the engine. Daniel didn't waste a single second. He ripped open the back door, unbuckled Lily's seatbelt, and cradled her in his arms. He dove out the side door just as the engine ignited. The explosion was small, but the shockwave threw him to the pavement. He landed hard, using his own body to completely shield the little girl from the blast. Traffic screeched to a halt. People were screaming. And Tyler, broken, breathless, and horrified, collapsed on the road, sobbing as he watched the same man he had humiliated just minutes earlier risk everything to save his child. Within minutes, the scene was flooded with flashing lights from paramedics and police. Witnesses rushed forward, whispering in disbelief, "That soldier saved the girl. Isn't that the guy who was bullying him earlier? Man, he must feel like trash right now." Phones were out, recording everything. By the time Lily was being taken to the ambulance, holding Daniel's hand and calling him "my hero," the internet had already seen it all. The video of Tyler's insults from the convenience store was now viral, paired with footage of Daniel pulling his daughter from a burning van. Tyler became the villain of the day. The comment sections drowned him in shame, but Daniel, he simply refused interviews, declined all praise, and went on with his duties as if saving a life was just another part of his Tuesday. 3 days later, Tyler showed up at the Army Base Visitor Center. His hands were shaking, his eyes were red. When he finally stood in front of Daniel, he broke down completely. "I'm sorry. I was cruel. I was stupid. And you still saved her. I don't deserve your forgiveness." Daniel didn't scold him. He didn't lecture him or remind him of what happened in the store. He simply put a hand on Tyler's shoulder and said, "We don't choose who needs us. We just do what's right." Tyler cried even harder. Just then, Lily ran in and hugged Daniel's leg. "Daddy said you're a real hero," she said. For the first time, Tyler understood what heroism really was. It isn't loud, it doesn't brag, and it doesn't need applause. Heroism simply acts. Months passed. Tyler changed, not because of the internet shaming, but because his daughter was alive, thanks to the very man he mocked. He began volunteering at veteran hospitals, donating to military family charities, and speaking publicly about respect, humility, and the power of a second chance. And Daniel, he remained humble, quiet, and dedicated, living proof that the strongest people are often the gentlest. Their story became a symbol in their community, a reminder that the people we rush to judge, insult, or misunderstand might just be the ones who would risk everything to save us, because real heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they wear the uniform of the United States Army, and sometimes the person you insult in the morning becomes the person who saves your entire world before noon. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe for more content that inspires.